So before I start, I wanted to play a quick audio clip. I called up some repair shops yesterday, and I wanted to share one of these. I got permission from the shop owner, obviously. I wasn't just calling shops and recording stuff, but I'm play this one real quick. Hey, how's it going? I have 200 iPad Air 2s I wanted to get repaired. Can I get a quote for that?
You said 200?
Yes.
I'll have to get that. What you on that?
So you can't quote me right now over the phone?
I cannot.
Okay.
You can probably call the Kennesaw location and see.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
That's the best option.
Do you have like their number or anything?
Let me find it for you real quick. Yeah, it'll be best to call them.
Okay.
That's who I'm gonna call and see.
Okay. All right. I'll just look it up online.
All right. Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah. So I'm Aakshay D Kripalani from Gadget, and I want to make sure that that never happens to any of your repair shops. I guess I could hold this. Yeah. It's probably 4.5 feet wide, 4 feet tall, full of broken screens. And I was like, "What do you guys do with that?" He's like, "Oh, we sell it for scrap. We get paid like $1 or $2 per pound for scrap broken screens." And so obviously I told him, if you guys don't know about this, but you can sell your broken screens for lots of money. I mean, like the iPhone 13 Pro Max is $150. And so I told him that $1 or $2 per pound was probably $100,000 of inventory right there. So I was able to build a relationship with him. And that client, who I probably would have ignored, is now probably one of our top 5 clients. Second thing is obviously your sales and service team. So I feel like you should always empower your employees to kind of be like a manager or an owner, even if they're not. Because if you don't, then you'll end up with an employee, unfortunately, like that first call, who probably, if it was a real sales opportunity, gave away $30,000 or $40,000 on that repair. And who knows what else it could have led to, just like the client I told you guys who does $3 million. I actually called another client of mine, his store in New Hampshire, and his employee, as soon as I said I have 200 repairs, he's like, "Oh, what do you guys do?" I said, "We're a school district." And he's like, "Oh, we do school districts all the time." He started name dropping. He told me they could knock them out in 2 or 3 weeks. And then I even tried to rebuttal him. I said, "I need this done in a week, so I'll just call somebody else." He's like, "You need it done in a week? We can beat that deadline. We'll get it done in 3 days." So, yeah. I was really impressed.
Not giving up that repair.
No, he was definitely not going to give up that repair. I mean, that's exactly the type of person you want. And obviously your sales and service team, when you're not around, because you can't be everywhere, are going to be really important to your growth. I don't have the clicker. Let me go to the next slide. So the question is, who are your target clients? Just to make sure, most of you guys are like in the repair industry, right? We're at the Gadget Repair Expo. Okay. I want to make sure I'm not just talking to death here. But yeah, so anybody can be a commercial client, as we see from my first example. But where do you get this business? I think a lot of repair stores are ignoring the responsible recycling depots, R2 depots. That's a huge source of business. Schools, the K-12s, campuses. The client I called yesterday at the store, I mean, he immediately said, "We do lots of school repairs." And that's a huge source of business. I mean, once you're able to lots of school in, they can have 2,000 to 3,000 devices or more every single year. That's massive. And then I'm also going to talk about certifications. I think a lot of people in the repair industry, at least what I've seen, kind of downplay certifications that are available, but you don't realize what those certifications can really lead to. So I'll talk about the ones that we want to get into in this industry and how they're important to us. Schools and K-12, so how do you get there? So for us, we were actually trying to get into schools probably about 3 or 4 years ago. And I ended up just researching our local school districts down at the University of campus. And I was invited to come down to the bookstore. Found out what they did. Got a protection chrome machine installed, put over there, which is basically like our screen cutting protection machine. It's on-demand screen cutting protection machine. And then I asked him, I was like, what other schools do this? And he told me about an event where a bunch of universities go. And then I went into that one. And now our protection pro system is in about 100 different schools. So I never even knew that this existed. But now one system is in 100 schools and hopefully 1,000 within a couple of years. But yeah, just going on Google, LinkedIn, researching the tech departments, who are the IT assistants, whoever that might be, that's going to lead you to a lot of people. Next one is the responsible recycling depot, and obviously government performance. So there's actually an R2 depot we went to, me and Scott, my director of business development, we went to them about 2 weeks ago or so. And I asked them, like, how are you guys getting your repairs, and like, what schools are you working with and whatnot? And he actually said that they were unable to keep up with the amount of schools that need repairs. So they're actually outsourcing their repairs to repair shops, as well as other depots. So I think just making those relationships would be really, really useful. Same with local USPS, FedEx, DHL. Our FedEx guy came with a little hand scanner, and now we install screen protectors on all of those hand scanners. It's all custom made. So that's another huge one. And obviously governments, local city council, local restaurant, and these people have tons of money, and they're willing to protect their devices for their employees, especially NDM management. So if you guys aren't familiar with that, that's something shops need to look into, because they want somebody to automatically update applications to their systems and all their devices. And lastly is the certifications. So I know Nicole is highly involved with WISE, and she's with Stelbotics at the bottom. So WISE certification, correct me if I'm wrong, but you need that to even be authorized for Apple, Samsung, and Google right now, is that correct?
I think the Samsung hasn't been officially announced, but yes.
Okay.
They're doing it okay to
Yeah. So there's always rumors going around, so I don't know exactly what's correct. But I know to be IP for Apple, you have to have a WISE certification. Do they still offer online courses, or is it just?
Yeah, so basically you can get certified online now remotely. So level 1 has always been online. It's a test that any technician can take. Level 2 is the repair certification, and we offer that now. I mean, you can go to WISE website and they'll refer you. There's only us and one other place that can actually certify you online as a level 2, or you can just go right to our website and get certified as a level 2. And it breaks down step by step. So it's level 1, level 2, and then you can also get retail certified. So that actually opens your store up to be a WISE or retail certified store. That would get you access to all these programs that they're going to be using.
Yeah, I mean, Jeremy earlier mentioned how, like, obviously CPR, they're with Assure, they got bought out by an insurance company, Assurion, purchased U-Bright Guy Fix. All of these franchises, the CPRs, the batteries plus bulbs, I mean, they're all WISE certified, because you have to have the certification just to be able to do these further repairs.
Yeah, Shay, I don't mean to interrupt you, but when I talk to stores, I try to stress that there are a lot of announcements coming out that you guys are just not privy to. And if you just get ahead of the curve and get the ball going, because retail certification is not just that, hey, approve it because I have a store. There's actually an evaluation process, and you will even learn a lot through that process, things that you don't know about your business. They actually help you figure out different procedures, training, policies, and they recommend what you should add. So it also takes your store to the next level when you get their certification.
Yeah, I mean, they even refer you to people. So I know, like, WISE, the whole list on their website, when they announced their first, I guess, WISE course graduates, they listed independent repair shops.
Yeah, they do. You actually list online. You're listed on there as a certified store, so it helps us SEO too. Being found. But there are things that are coming out. WISE is relatively new to the industry. We think about, how long just in general it's been around, and so I would just at least look into it and just keep your ear out for things that you hear and you don't feel dedicated enough to just go full force with it. You definitely want to keep an ear to the wind, because there are going to be things that are coming out that are going to directly affect independent repair stores, because franchises already have these agreements. So it's going to be really important.
But yeah, I mean, these guys are all willing to list basically everybody who's authorized on their website. And obviously, when you go towards a school or a government organization, they might require that. They might require you to be R2, or they might require you to be on the SERI list, the Sustainable Electronic Recycling list. They might require all these things, and even if they don't, you being able to say that you have them is going to set you apart from your competition. So that's really important in my opinion nowadays. I'm actually going to get my buyback, even though we don't do repairs, my buyback technician is WISE certified, because it's something that you can add to your repertoire. So I have finished a little bit ahead of time, but yeah.
Any questions?
I'm a small shop, and I've looked at certification a number of times. Every time I try to search on the web, there's no way to find it. You finally find it, then you can't do anything. And then I finally figured out, well, I'm a one-man shop working behind my home. I have my shop behind my home, and I do $250,000 a year, but I can't get certified because I'm a one-man shop. So why is people able to help me there?
So WISE is coming out with a program for what they would call as mobile technicians and locations that are working from home, which is probably what you're considering.
I started out.
Yeah, so if you, I can get you my card and then I can get more clarity on what process you're going through to help you. For sure. Yeah.
That's a really good question though, because I know you're absolutely right. Originally they require a physical
They
location.
do, but they're adapting, right? So like I said, WISE is relatively new, and they do have some really amazing things that are coming out that have not been announced. And so it is good to look at it, but they're really close to launching a mobile technicians and location program. Because it is very different for someone who's running around in a vehicle or visiting people's homes versus if you have a retail structure that's already
It's a retail structure,
It is really
but it's behind my home.
is it in, yeah, we'll go into detail about it and see if I can help you.
She got something for you.
I mean, that's pretty amazing, $40 million out of it though.
I believe it, yeah. 100%.
Scott loves me.
Okay, we have one more question for Shay.
Shay, when you target schools, what is your pitch when you go to them to, like, you know,
Yeah.
create that
So a lot of schools for us, obviously it's a little bit different for you guys, but a lot of schools do have their own in-house IT department that does the repairs. So for those schools, we'll actually prepare a price list, and we'll actually kind of look for what devices they repair. So we'll do a little bit of research online, try to see what they bought. Usually if you Google a specific school district, you'll find that they made a bid on something. And you're able to find out what devices they actually give to their students, or if students are bring your own device, because a lot of schools do that as well, bring their own device. But yeah, you definitely want to have a price list. You want to have a warranty that you can give them screen protector, or protection, or cases, basically everything they need. You should have it at your fingertips, ready to go, including the devices themselves. So a lot of times, schools, I think, are taken advantage of, unfortunately. So when you give them a very fair price, sometimes they might think you're actually scamming them, but they're actually pretty shocked that you can give them that value back.
Thank you so much. That's great. What is it? 10 more minutes? 9:45?
So, yes, Paul.
Just a point of clarification on a Siri. Siri, their standard is called R2, and it's really a commercial standard for people that are doing significant volume, but the cost of Siri would be prohibitive even if you had 350 stores. So if you have an appetite to get into commercial space and do serious volume, like maybe 10,000 devices a month or beyond, then the R2 certification makes complete sense if you're trying to serve that commercial market. But in the retail market, it's cost prohibitive. It doesn't really serve the purpose.
No, absolutely, I agree with that. But I think that also more so relates to this gentleman over there who asked, like, what's my exit strategy? I mean, I've seen repair shops go from 1 repair shop to 5 repair shops to opening up depots. And I think that's where those R2, those ISO 9000 ones come into hand, is when you actually are looking to expand in this industry and come up with a really big exit strategy. I mean, you could do that in 3 to 5 years. I mean, I've seen repair shops do that. It just takes really 1 or 2 decent sized contracts, and you're turning over 10, 20,000 repairs a month. Any more questions?
I have a question about parts. I'm starting to notice a lot of Samsung, Motorola, certain parts that used to be readily available. Is there some kind of constraint that's going on in the market that we're not aware of that maybe you can speak to? Because you deal with a lot more suppliers.
Yeah, so, well, I would say not really overall. I know obviously like 2 or 3 weeks ago there was some huge lockdowns in Shenzhen, and there's still pretty big lockdowns in Beijing. Obviously that's going to cause massive backlog just in shipping in general, logistics. But in terms of Samsungs, no, we're not really having an issue getting them. I think the volume of Samsung repairs are just increasing. And we're just not, we weren't as prepared. We're starting to get a lot more prepared with our just-in-time forecasting. But for instance, I was looking at one of the A series, like a 2017 A series. something we would have sold maybe 50 of a month 3 months ago. We're selling like 1,000 of a month right now. And so when that, I don't know where it's coming from or why customers are repairing these all of a sudden, but that's more so what it is. It's just that customers are starting to do more Samsung repairs, I feel. Maybe they're getting used to the price points. We're going pretty good with iPhone, but you're right. I'm definitely seeing a lot of outages on Samsung. It's not an issue of getting them. I think they're just being repaired a lot more nowadays. So. But we'll get better at it. We're working on that.
Any more questions?
You were talking about that customer that does like $3 million a month in repair. What's their name and phone number?
So I actually know they are here. When they told me they were coming here, I was like, I don't know about what you guys think. Because they might find somebody else. But you know, I've built such a good relationship, and we've been dealing with them for so many years that I'm not super concerned about a competitor talking to them or anything like that. Just because I think it's all about relationship. But yeah, no, they're here. So
we'll talk more of the cocktail.
If you talk about anybody else?
Hello, my name is Alex. Good question. Because of last couple of years, people start using more insurances with Apple and other insurance, and small repair shops start losing this customer. So what do you think about the future of small repair shops?
Oh, you gotta adapt. That's easy. So once again, Jeremy mentioned Akko, right? So they actually target independent repair. So Akko provides not just screen protection repair. I know they just launched there's a vendor here called Neo. They just launched case repair, where if you sell a case, it includes like 30 days of a warranty. But also they provide like monthly warranty. So you're gonna be able to compete with the Pocket Geeks at Home, which is from CPR/Assurant, and Assurion's product. I think it's called Asurion Home Plus. So basically, if you guys don't know, that is a huge part of this industry. Those products will cover between 5 to 25 devices from your house. So everything that's mobile or home connected, you're able to cover those devices in your house as a flat monthly fee of like $15 or $25, depending on the coverage you want. So Onco actually came out with literally the exact same program, but they additionally cover phones. So I know, for instance, Pocket Geek at Home, I believe, does not cover a device. Onco's does. So being an independent, if that's what you are, you're actually able to, go to multiple vendors and find the best deals. You're not really like obligated by a certain product. So I think it's just talking to your vendors, saying, hey, what do you guys offer? And using those alternative sources. That was really easy.
Thank you.
Anybody else?
There's been some discussion, a lot of news about Apple getting subscription type model for phones. Which I think we all have an opinion, but what's your thoughts on?
That's great news.
How does that affect the repair business?
I think customers are going to realize that they have no idea what they're doing for the most part, and that they want to take their broken screen that's now in probably 50 screws and pieces to your repair shop to repair. And they're also going to realize just how difficult it is. I know the first time I decided to do a repair, and this is after I was selling parts for a year, I ended up with literally a bag of screws. And I gave it to a repair shop who was buying it for me, and I said, can you please fix this? So it wasn't worth it for me to take the time and figure it out, because I was just doing one repair. Now obviously when you're a repair shop, you're doing multiple repairs, it makes sense to learn. And so eventually I did learn. But as a DIYer, they're not going to want to learn, and they're just going to get frustrated for the most part. They're going to tell their friends, just don't do it. I broke my phone. So I think it's a really good idea. I'm excited about Samsung offering OEM parts. They're doing that through iFixit pretty soon. They just announced that. And then obviously Apple has talked about launching this pretty soon. I think it's a little bit delayed because they're supposed to announce it or launch it first quarter this year. But no, I think it's a good thing for our industry. I think customers are going to realize just how difficult repair is, and that they don't want to do it, and they want to trust you guys. Yeah, no, Microsonic is definitely going to do very good.
Anybody else? No more? Anybody? Shot?
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you so much.
Don't forget to Thank you.